Hello everybody, my name is Hector Haddock and I am a 5th year undergraduate student at the University of Puerto Rico, Rio Piedras campus. In this video, I will be presenting a research project that I did as part of a virtual summer internship with Vanderbilt University. The title of my project is Reaching a General Audience Through an Animated Video that Explains the Connection Between Mental and Cardiovascular Health. So, before we begin, I think it's important to note that mental health can affect the overall health of the cardiovascular system. In fact, it's been shown that patients who suffer from anxiety, depression, or other mental health issues have an increased risk of developing high blood pressure and also an increased risk of developing cardiovascular disease in general. The problem is that not a lot of people know this, and there's actually a term that refers to the amount of knowledge a person has regarding his or her own health. It's called health literacy. So a formal definition for health literacy would be the capacity a person has to obtain, process, and understand basic health information needed to make appropriate health decisions. Studies have shown that 2 out of every 5 adults in the United States, so roughly 40% of the adult population, has basic to below basic levels of health literacy. The issue here is that low levels of health literacy correlate with poorer mental health, which subsequently lead to poorer cardiovascular health and more disease in general. Luckily, educational videos have been shown to be an interactive and accessible way to increase health literacy amongst certain populations. So with this in mind, the main purpose of this project was to create an educational video that could help increase health literacy regarding the connection between mental health and cardiovascular health. To prepare this video, we can say that the entire process was subdivided into 3 main stages: the pre-production phase, the production phase, and the post-production phase. During pre-production, we set out to create the contextual framework for our video, where we established our learning objectives. These objectives were focused on teaching people the connection between mind and heart, and also teaching people strategies that they could use to protect their mental health and thus protect their heart. We also identified our audience during this stage, and in our case, we wanted our video to be directed towards a general audience, which I will be better defining further along in this presentation. Of course, we did a literature review in order to prepare our storyboard or script for the video, and we had a content expert review our storyboard in order to ensure scientific accuracy. During the production phase is where we actually created our video, and here we decided to go for an animated video style, since the literature suggested that this is a good approach to engage audiences from all backgrounds. So to animate our video, we used the Animaker software provided by animaker.com, and we externally recorded our audio, which we later synced up during the post-production phase, which is where we edited our entire video to form one cohesive product. And we also had a content expert review our video one last time to ensure scientific accuracy. So here I'm going to present a short clip of our video. Following scenario: you are walking in your backyard and suddenly you see a snake. You feel your heart beating rapidly and a sense of nervousness that has you on edge. What you're experiencing is a response from your autonomic nervous system, the part of our peripheral nervous system that is responsible for controlling how our bodies will react to different situations. So you can see that the video is very simple in the sense of its animation style, very simple animations, and also big bold letters to really grasp the reader's attention. So in addition to our video, we prepared a survey, and this survey allowed us to measure the impact of our video. So how much did our video reach or how did it impact the audience that it reached? So to prepare this survey, we used the RedCap software provided by Vanderbilt University. This survey did have institutional review board approval, and the focus of the survey, or one of the main focuses of the survey, was to assess how strongly respondents rated the relationship between mental and cardiovascular health. So all of these questions were prepared in a Likert scale format, where 1 was not related versus 5 being strongly related. Our survey also wanted to assess the respondents' ability to identify techniques that could be used to improve their mental health that we mentioned in our video. And finally, and most importantly for the work that I'm going to be presenting today, our survey also included demographic questions that allowed us to collect information which could be used to identify the general makeup of our viewers. So I focused on this specific portion of the survey for the research project that I'm going to be that I'm going to be presenting. And my main research question was whether or not our video had reached the general audience to which it was intended. So this is a very broad question, and to answer it, I actually subdivided it into three sub-questions. The first being, how exactly do we define a general audience, or what is a general audience? And based off of that definition of a general audience, our second question was whether or not our respondents actually followed the criteria of our definition for a general audience. And finally, we wanted to know if our audience was likely to change their behavior and incorporate the healthy techniques mentioned in our video. So for our first sub-question, defining the general audience, we found that the key word for any general audience is heterogenicity. Basically, a general audience could be defined as a heterogeneous mix of people composed of different ages, cultures, professions, and socioeconomic groups. So we used all of these as indicators that could help us identify the general makeup of the population through the survey responses. And what we found was that, sadly, our respondents did not follow the criteria of our definition for a general audience. And we knew this right off the bat. Here we can see the five major racial groups currently being used by the NIH. And we can see that for the respondents of our video, we saw no one that identified as Pacific Islanders, Asians, or American Indians or Native Alaskans. So just off of this, we knew that our survey did not reach everyone that it could reach. But also, even when we looked at the respondents, we see that there was a skewed distribution in the sense that the majority of our respondents identified as Black or African American non-Latinos and were within the 11 to 30 year age groups, as we can see here in figure B. Similarly, we can see that the majority of our respondents had a high school degree. So what we can interpret off of this is that our video is reaching younger generations of Black or African American non-Latinos, but it is falling short on reaching those older generation and also those other racial groups. However, we did see that our respondents were likely to change their behavior after watching our video. So we can see here in figure A that the majority of our respondents responded that they were either likely or very likely to change their behavior after watching our video, and this was true regardless of the racial group that the person identified as, and also the level of education of the person. So based off of this, we can conclude that our video, even though it is doing a good job of teaching people about the relationship between mental health and cardiovascular health, and also teaching them strategies that they could incorporate to protect their mental health and their cardiovascular health, we are doing a poor job in reaching the general audience that we intended to reach. And we know this because, as I mentioned, the majority of our respondents identified as Black or African American non-Latinos and were within 11 to 30 years of age. And we had no people, and we see that there are various categories in which we had no respondents who identified as neither of those racial groups. So, of course, future directions for this project include a stronger promotional campaign, one focused on social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also LinkedIn, which has been proven to be a very effective platform for these type of media projects. Now, the reason for this is that we hope that by recruiting more people through social media, we'll have a more diverse group of respondents and also a larger sample size that could increase the statistical power of our analysis and allow us to identify nuances between respondents, whether or not people who have lower levels of education tend to respond that they're less likely to change behavior, for example, or vice versa. We just don't know this because we had so little respondents. So as a general idea, 36 people responded to our survey, whereas we had over more than 200 views. So clearly, we're also doing a poor job in engaging the viewer to respond to our survey. This is obviously something that we want to address in the future, and we also want to promote the video among the different racial groups that did not participate in our survey this time around. So is being people who identify as Asian, Pacific Islanders, and Native American people. Interestingly, we also want to assess respondents' scientific background, since it's been shown that science knowledge among lay people, strongly correlates to individual level of formal schooling, and again, this could help identify nuances between the responses of different viewers. That would be the end of my presentation, but before I end the video, I would like to thank the AHA SURE program and the PACER program at Vanderbilt University for helping me throughout the summer with this project, and also my wonderful mentors, Dr. Kendra Oliver and Dr. Joey Barnett, for all their help with during the summer. And also Davin Means, Jimena Leon, Madeline Terhune, and Alexander Martinez for helping me create the video and also create the survey that you guys saw during this video. So here we can see a QR code that will redirect you to a full list of the references used in this video, and also a QR code in the bottom right corner of this video that will redirect you to my video project. So the video project that actually shows the relationship between mental health and cardiovascular health. So with that in mind, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me at hector.haddock@upr.edu. Thank you for your attention.